Team Japan versus Team Romania. Friendly match in preparation for Stockholm World Team Championship. Masayuki Mochizuki versus Michael Neagu. Comments with me, Leila Zalotskaya. So we have Michael bottom with the black checkers and Mochi top with white checkers.
It doesn't mean it's going to be like that at the end. Michael might end up on the top himself. Okay.
It is 2 minutes per point, 11-point match, and players don't see pip count.
Yes.
Viewers can see pip count, but players don't. Because it is a training match for a live competition, so they don't see pip count.
I know that Michael started playing tournament backgammon in 2016, and he told me that at that point he didn't even know what pip count was.
Yes. But now I think he learned very well.
Yeah, I think he figured it out. Yeah. Okay, well, Mochi's board looks pretty scary.
Yes, but Michael is ahead in the race, so... And now Mochi's thinking about cubing, because if he hits, he has very good chances. But
yeah, if he...
I don't know. What do you think about this cube action?
I think it might be a cube, but it's definitely a take, in my opinion.
Yes, but I think it was a bit early. Probably Mochi was counting pip count.
Yeah, maybe.
And he saw that he's very behind in the race. So
now Mochi must be happy he didn't double.
Yes, I think so.
Michael is thinking, yeah, this is clearly the way. Okay.
Yes, and it is an efficient way to protect his blot.
Wow. Okay. I was thinking if Michael should have perhaps considered cubing the roll before when Mochi was on the bar, but he came in too fast.
Yes, he could think about it, but it was a bit dangerous.
Yeah.
And now I think that Mochi will bubble.
Yeah. Huh.
Not an easy decision.
Right, but as the backgammon players say, you don't have to like it to take it. I think it was a take because Mochi still has a lot of work to do, and he only has one builder to cover his 2 point. However, Michael needs very specific numbers. He needs 2-6 to come in and get out. But I'm sure he would be happy just with a 2.
Yes.
So if he rolls anything with a 2 right now, double 2s would be ideal. Double 1s would work too. Oh, the other way. Okay, see, Mochi still cannot cover the blot. So now Michael needs to concentrate and roll a 2.
Yes, because
to make it interesting.
Now Mochi is a big favorite to cover the deuce point.
Yeah.
If he's not it.
You see how many rolls he was unable to cover?
I think this is the best choice.
Excellent. And now it might be a recube. First, he has to get out.
Not sure it is a recube, because if he doesn't roll a 6, he's in great troubles.
Yeah, I am sometimes aggressive with a cube unnecessarily. Oh, especially if you roll something like that. Yeah. Yeah, now it's Michael is happy to be holding the cube.
And I think he's very happy if he loses a single game.
Well, he can still win. He could
Yes,
roll one.
yes, but okay, I usually I am a bit pessimistic, so I would be afraid of lose a gammon.
Yeah, you don't want to lose a gammon. No, this chances are becoming high.
Not so high, because if Mochi closes his board, I think chances are something like 45%, not more.
Oh, very good. Okay. He came in with one checker. Now he just needs to roll any other one, and then we have a very interesting game. There we go.
Yes,
They are accommodating the viewers.
but the problem is that if he roll a 6, he's in big danger.
Yes, in situation like that, I always say that it's better to roll double sixes, and
Yes, this is the solution.
yes, that's a good solution, and one should always plan for that. Oh, look at that! Oh no, this I thought this was for Michael. No, this is for Mochi 6-4. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mochi wanted to take away any possibility of a fly shot. So he brought the checker in, and now he's preventing, I think he's thinking of preventing Michael from escaping in case he rolls a lucky double 6, right? By making Michael's 13 point. Okay.
Yes, for the moment he has 2 builders for hitting on the ace point if Michael roll a 6, it is very important.
Mm-hmm. I know now Michael prefers not to roll a 6, at least not a single 6.
Yes.
So it's much safer this way.
Now 14-6, I think.
Yes. And then Mochi will have 3 builders in case one of the checkers escapes.
I think
Amazing PRs so far. Michael is at 0, Mochi is at 0.25.
yes, not bad.
Yes, well, 2 great players. Both of them have done amazing on the world arena. Of course, Mochi is number 1 in the world and has been playing for many years. Michael has only been playing since 2016, but now would have been a good time to roll.
Roll a 6, at least one.
Oh, it's good too. There you go. Nice hit. Okay. This is a little less than ideal, but still we have a game.
Yes, a 4 would have been nice to control the outfield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if you should move from 18 at all. Yeah, I would probably play inside.
It is not. Oh, 3-1 is a very good roll, but 5-4, not bad.
5-4 is a great comeback, but see, now he gets hit.
Yes.
Ah. Okay. Well, last chance. Michael should be able to save.
Yes, no, I don't see any gammons.
So interesting statistics. Michael and Mochi played 3 matches live over the years in 2016, 2017, and 2018. Michael lost all 3
Oh,
in live tournaments.
yes, but probably it was in the beginning of his career. Now
That's right.
he's much stronger.
Right. So Mochi was lucky to catch him when he didn't know what pip count was. Now he has learned. Okay, we're in game 2.
2-0 for Mochi.
2-0 for Mochi and very impressive PRs. 0.59 for Mochi and 0 for Michael. Of course, it's just the one game, but still, it's very impressive that these world-class players are able to play perfectly when some moves are quite complicated. It's easy to play at a 0 PR when you're all the time on the bar, but once you commit, you have to make some decisions, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Michael is running because he is ahead in the race.
Yes, and 14 point is a bit dangerous.
Also, it's better to take, perhaps it's better to take the checker of the 5, your opponent's 5, not to give him an opportunity to make the 5 point, which we see Heroes agrees with us.
Now
it's better if the opponent hits in the outfield without giving him a chance to make the 5
but
point.
now it could be a double. He has a lot of chances to hit and has a very strong inner board, the so-called rack.
Yeah, Michael is contemplating a double from the bar.
Yes. But maybe it was a bit too early, because if he doesn't hit, he has not a very good advantage.
I think I would have doubled maybe earlier, because now, look, now I think it became too good. Even though Mochi hit him.
I don't think it is too good, and I think I would have doubled now from the bar.
So I think now after Mochi finishes this roll, it's a double. Now Mochi is thinking if he wants to hit Michael on his 3-point or if he wants to make a bar, I suppose. If he makes his bar, there are so many blots. There are 3 blots.
Yes.
So the idea, I think, right now is to make sure it doesn't become too good. for Michael to double.
Not so sure. Maybe he's thinking about the move that gives him the chance to take the cube.
Yeah, of course. Though I'm not sure there is one. It's hard to take this cube. Though a 4-point prime is longer than it seems. When I was playing in the finals against MCG in Vegas, I had a 4-point prime and he couldn't get out, I think, in something like 6 or 7 rolls. And miraculously, I won that game when all the odds were against it, but the 4 prime worked incredible. So now it's might be a double from the bar.
Yes, I think so.
Because if Michael hits that checker, it's definitely gonna be a drop. Might probably will become too good.
Yes.
And the double take were correct.
I think 12-6 and 8-3.
Yes. Start your 3-point. Eleven, 8, 6, 2.
And slot the 2, yes.
Mm-hmm. See what always amazes me about these world-class players is they take their time to think even about the obvious moves. I feel
not so sure it is obvious.
yeah, but for me, for example, when I see a move and I thought right away, make the 6 prime and then slot the 2. So to me, it seemed like the prevalent move. So I would do it and move on. But these great players, and this is something for all of us to learn, they take their time.
Yes. And they have a lot of time because 2 minutes per point are quite enough. So
yeah. Oh. Okay, so Michael had to open his prime.
yeah.
Lucky for him, Mochi didn't roll a 6. Okay.
I think he has to clear the 11 point.
Yeah, I don't think he should hit.
No, it not, of course. The choice is running 21-16. I would have preferred that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 24-16 was the correct move. This is a very beautiful double one.
Yes.
Mochi, very nice. Very nice comeback. Okay.
And now quite a lot of gammons. I
Yeah,
think
no,
something more than 40%.
So now you have to think about how to bring the checkers in the best way.
Yes, the spares in the best position, which would be 6, 5, and 4.
Yes, if he plays this way, the double sixes will work well. In this situation, double sixes don't work well. Okay. Very nice. But as we know in backgammon, it's never over until the last piece has been moved.
Yes.
Sometimes the most unbelievable things happen. Yeah, so now the gammons are not
not a lot of gammons anymore.
If Mochi dances for a little longer. Normally, I know Mochi doesn't like to dance, but
I would prefer to take off one checker.
yeah, I would take it off. Yeah.
And I would have preferred not to roll an ace.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it controls better the outfield.
Yeah, so Michael has 7 checkers off. He needs to come in as quickly as he can.
And 15-12, I think. Or maybe 13-10 to try to make the 4-point, which is very important. Yes, I prefer 13-10.
13-10, yeah. Okay. Well, Mochi is trying to close his board and get to a point where he has a recube. But
oh,
wow, they're both very skillful.
Yes.
This takes a lot of practice to roll like that. Yeah, this is a dilemma. I think I would play this way. I would leave one checker behind. Yeah.
Yes, it doesn't need the anchor.
Well, no gammon.
No gammons, but a certain single win for Michael.
So now we have 2-2. The PRs are still impressive.
Yes.
For Mochi, 0.66 for Michael. Okay. (6-2). Interesting that he chose to pass, not stay on the bar. And it turned out to be right. So 4 in, 3 safety. Now it's a decision between
I think he has to
making
eat.
an
Okay, no, I had seen that Mochi was behind in the race, but he's ahead in the race, so it's
with the
correct to
opening
make
double
the anchor.
Oh, that's an interesting choice. I probably wouldn't volunteer a shot because you're so far ahead in the race.
Yes, yes.
Meanwhile, Michael probably should. I would stay back. I would bring 6 down. I would play 13-7. And maybe Michael should slot his 5-point.
Yes, I think it is a nice possibility. 13-7 and 6-5.
Yeah,
I like it.
That move. Because trying to run out right now, I'm not sure it pays. Though Heroes agrees with Michael's move. That's why he's a world-class player.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, so he had a plan. That's why. We didn't see it, but he knew he was going to roll 6-5. Very nice. So Mochi has 3 checkers behind, but Michael has no board at all.
And is behind in the race, so it is too early to double.
Absolutely. A hit. Wow, interesting double 5. If you make the 2-point, you give up your bar, but you might want to be aggressive because what other choices do you have?
I don't like this one.
Yeah, it's too deep. I think maybe, I think 13-8.
Yes. It is risky, but...
Yeah, this is a blunder. He should have played 13-8 and actually made the 1-point without hitting.
And slot the 3.
Yeah. Because right now only 6-5 hits. Now there are more numbers. Yeah, this is an error. He should have slot the 3. Oh, Mochi's board is becoming dangerous.
Yes. And it is not easy for Michael to bring ahead these checkers.
Yeah, now Mochi's run.
Yes.
Michael has a blot and Mochi leads in the race. Well, I think the hit is unavoidable.
Yes.
Has to hit.
Bit risky, but necessary. And if he's not hit, he has a good position.
Interesting that Mochi made a mistake when it was double ones. At least according to Heroes, he should have made the bar. He should have made 2 points instead of advancing to Michael's 5-point.
It was not an easy choice.
Right. So this is a cube.
Yes, I agree. I think it is a take, but I think it is a strong cube.
It's important to give your opponent a cube where they don't. It's not as easy for them to make the right decision. So Michael is very good at that. He finds positions where it's just not obvious whether it's a take or not. And yes, and Mochi took. Michael rolled a great number.
Yeah, now he has a good race advantage, and Mochi has a checker on the bar, so big advantage.
So Hero says it was a small, very small no double. But it was a take, of course. But against Mochi, if you think on technicalities and you say, oh, maybe it's not a small no double, but against Mochi you want to double.
Yes, this I think this is correct. When the difference is very small, you can adjust something.
Right.
I am not a big fan of adjustment, but when they are small, they are. Of course, you have to be a strong player to understand when you have to adjust.
Absolutely. That's the key. Very nice. Michael chooses against making his bar because it would become hard to clear later. And just brings the checker in. Okay. And Mochi is in. Nice roll. 4-3. I wonder. I probably. I probably would have played the checkers off the 5 like that.
Maybe I would prefer from the 4. I think it is safer.
You do?
Yes.
And it allows you to take an additional checker off.
Yes.
I really don't like that gap. However, 6-2, 5-2, 4-2 plays better this way.
Now Mochi is counting to see if he has to run or if it is too risky to lose a gammon.
Yeah, there are no gammons here, of course, now. Very interesting games.
And the fact that Mochi decided to run is a confirmation that it was correct to bring off one checker.
Right. Okay, 4-2, Michael has the lead.
Yes.
Double 5s. Makes the 1 point, of course.
For sure.
Okay. Nice. These are expert rollers. Simply expert. 9-6, or does he hit?
No, I think he has to hit.
He has to hit, yeah. Now, at which point is this a cube? Do you stop and consider?
I don't think it is. I don't see the cube in a short period because Mochi has a very strong golden point, and Michael has 4 checkers that are, I wouldn't say out of play, but the checkers on the 3 and the 1 are not very efficient.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a nice quiet move.
I would prefer 24-21. Not sure, but
I think you kind of don't want to give a chance for him to point on you. But 24-21, 8-6 was the play. I think here Mochi I would make a 5 point, even though it leaves a double shot. However, 9 point is very strong as well. Now he has somewhat of a blockade, right? Better yet. Mm-hmm.
Oh, another double 5.
Seems to be the role of this game. Okay. Well, now Michael needs to think about the tension cube.
Too early.
Really?
Yes.
Even though he is 50 pips ahead?
Yes, but he had a blot in the outfield.
Yeah, I would have done.
Now he has to think, of course. His structure is not very nice, I think, because he has the checkers on the 3 and the ace, but 41 pips are quite a lot.
Yeah.
And he decided to double.
So Mochi is considering, because this is still a contact, there's a lot of action, and he has Michael's golden point.
I think it is a take. Mochi said unlimited double 5 fire.
Yes. So Mochi takes correctly. And now Michael has to bring in his checkers carefully. Yeah, we're starting the 4 point.
Eight, 6, and 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Michael is waiting for a double.
He's waiting for the double 5s.
Double 5, double 4, double 3, double 6. Also, double ace is nice.
Yeah, really, any doubles are perfect in this kind of situation. I was just
yes. Also, double 2 is not so bad.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is unfortunate for Mochi that he rolled double 5s, because he wants to.
Yes, to keep the 14 point. Yes.
Right, he wants to keep the point.
To keep contact, as much contact as possible.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The board is looking good.
I think I would make the deuce point.
I would make the deuce point, yeah. Because even if Mochi gets hit, maybe that's best for him, because then he can come back from behind and not break his board.
He needs contact.
Yeah. I would play 2-1 if I were Michael with a 1. I wouldn't lift the 4-3.
I agree.
So he must be counting the rolls, the bad rolls after that, if he lifts the 4-point. So what are his bad rolls? 6-3 is bad.
5-3, not very nice, and 5-3 he can handle with the checker on the 4.
Yeah, so if he
for
had
example,
the checker on the 4, he could have played 5-3. Yeah, it was 8-4-2-1. But he chooses to lift it. I'm not sure why. I can guess. He's hoping to hit Mochi and then not have a blot. But
4-3 is another roll for which he would have liked to have the checker on the 4.
Absolutely. So now 13-6. Yeah. Because he has to clear that point anyway, might as well take a chance now.
Now deuce and 8. I don't think that Mochi can double.
No, I don't think so.
The score is not so desperate.
Oh, okay. And now, of course, it's too good.
Yes.
Yes, it's important to go through the rolls, especially when you have time, and see if it pays to lift the checker or keep it in position. Mochi is trying to catch Michael, trying to catch another checker to
yes, of course.
Yeah.
And he's thinking if it is better to eat or not. Probably
not.
Yes, I agree.
Because otherwise, if Michael doesn't come in, he doesn't have to play. And here is the same dilemma for Michael: hit or no hit. Better not.
No, of course, he has not to eat.
So score-wise, we're doing pretty evenly.
Yes.
When are you arriving to Stockholm?
On Sunday, next Sunday, in the evening.
Yes.
And you?
Saturday. Okay, wow, he got the second checker. So there are but higher chances for the gammon now.
Yes, for sure. And yes to it, yes, correct. And now the usual 43-44%, I think, gammon chances.
Yeah, yeah, he has to avoid awkward double sixes.
Yes, probably 14-8 and 6-4. Seems nice.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he would play this.
This is better as a structure, but little risks with a double six.
Right, and didn't seem necessary because Michael doesn't really have any checkers off.
Yes, but he's trying to maximize his gammon chances.
Mm-hmm.
And Mochi is very good at evaluating the different possibilities.
Right.
Maybe from the 3.
Yeah, Michael's board is not really that dangerous. However, I would move the checkers from the 5 point to be on the safe side because there are still 2 checkers on the bar, and
Not anymore.
Yeah, but Michael needs to roll something bigger than 3-1.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's more like it. Now he needs doubles. Big doubles. So I spoke too soon when I said that the score is even. Yeah, so interesting how Mochi played the bear off. It paid off with a gammon.
Yes.
I learned something here because I tend to be safer on the bear off, but this is a good idea to stop and give it some extra thought for the possibilities of extra gammon chances. All right, so we're 4-6 now.
I think I would eat. No, it is correct. It was not an easy decision.
Yeah, he would have had way too many blots across the board. Now duplicating 5s. Yeah, I think against the 3-point board, you do want to anchor. Even though it's the 3 and 1 point, but still, a 3-point board is a 3-point board.
Yes, and Mochi's ahead in the score, but GNU says it was better to make the other choice. It was not an easy decision, for sure.
So I think Mochi needs to hit 13-4.
Or 24-14 and 8-4-5, but there are a lot of rebounds.
Yeah.
I think I prefer this one.
Mm-hmm. Earlier, Michael commented in the match messages for Mochi. He said, "You're a machine gun." Now I think they reversed. Now Michael was a machine gun in this rolling competition.
No, Machine Gun was about double five. About previous Mochi commentaries,
Yeah.
unlimited double five fire, and the answer the Machine Gun.
Okay, double pass. Yeah.
So 6-5 for Mochi, 5 away, 6 away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's
Now it is not easy because natural move is to hit, but is ahead in the race, so it is less clear.
yeah, but it's always, well, not always, but it was important to hit.
Yes. I think I would make the golden point and 39, duplicating the 4.
I noticed that many people hit twice in a situation like that.
Yes, but I
It's
don't like it.
right. It's difficult sometimes to make the decision not to do it, but it is correct to make the golden point. Because hitting and leaving your blood on the 1 point, well, they play so fast. Okay. So 4-3. Now Mochi is thinking whether he should
Yes,
hit.
to hit. Yes, I think so.
He's of course concerned about giving up his midpoint. So hitting forces him to give up the midpoint.
Yes,
What else?
I think the alternative is to make the second anchor, but I would prefer to hit.
Yeah, the second anchor, the problem is that Michael then can play behind him very easily. So he wants to avoid that, but he should have hit, according to Heroes. Wow, now Mochi has 5 checkers back. And now maybe he will hit.
Now I would make the 21 point and slot the 5. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. 15-11, 16-14 probably.
Yes, I don't see anything better.
Mochi, can he hit? No. Yes, he can.
Not sure. Maybe I would go to the mid. 24-13.
Yeah, here I guess you play safe now.
Yes,
Not
why
you have
not?
anything to worry about, but so now Mochi waits while he's building his board. Yeah, and he's not afraid to leave a blot.
No, he has 6 checkers back, so
Yeah. Though it was an error. Hero said he should have brought 2 checkers down from his midpoint. This isn't going to be easy for Michael to bring all his guys in.
yes, he's a very
Probably
inflexible position.
Yeah. Yeah, these games are very hard to play. Oh, Mochi reached 1 in PR.
Oh, he's
Now it's back down to 0.99.
what
Of
a
course,
shame.
Okay, has to volunteer a shot. And I think Mochi is going to make his 5 point instead of hitting Michael. He wants to be ready before he hits him.
Or make the 18 and slot the 5.
No, I think he wants to. I think he wants to stay on the 24 to guard against Michael playing behind him. Yeah, this was an error. Here, he should have made his 5 point, I think. I can't see the analysis anymore, like the breakdown. Okay, double 4s. Come in and hit. Mm-hmm.
And now Mochi has improved his position a lot.
Yes, it paid off. So now he has a 4 point board.
Yes.
But a lot of checkers behind still, so I don't think he has a double.
I don't think so, because okay,
Yeah.
a gammon with the cube would be very, very nice, because he would go to the Crawford game. The problem of Michael's position is that he has built anything in his inner board.
Mm-hmm.
And he can leave other shot. So and
But
there are gammons too.
But at the same time, yeah. So it was a double, but I think it was a take because Mochi doesn't have any ammunition,
Yes.
and Michael perhaps has time to come in, and still there is a lot of interaction. So, but it's complicated. You have to get in now. Three two would be a very nice roll for Michael.
Yes. To make the anchor. not on the 24 but on the 22 is very important.
Mochi is going through all the combinations on how to play this 5-3. In case Michael rolls double ones, so double threes, so 1-3. And to avoid awkward numbers himself later on. Okay, very nice coming in, but I don't think he should hit.
I think he has to split.
Yes, I think he has to split. Now he's going to get hit most likely on the 1 point.
Not so sure, because he has not builders to cover, and the important point is the 3 point, not the S point. Mm-hmm. So not an easy choice.
Yeah, this 5-4 is not. There's no easy play here.
Yes, I like this one. I was thinking about that one, but leaves 2 blots in the outfield.
If I can manage to hit both blots, he is safe. But otherwise,
yes.
Yeah, his priority now is to anchor. Of course, that's one of the reasons I thought that Mochi would hit on the 1 to make it harder to anchor.
Yes, but hitting on the ace is not preventing Michael from anchoring.
Very true.
Oh, 13-4 was a blunder.
So what should he have done with 5-4?
Hit and out.
Yeah.
I would prefer 22-16.
Okay, very good. Coming back in.
And I think 6-2.
Yeah, I see nothing else. You don't want to come out under that fire. I think it was an error to come out.
Too many gammons.
Yeah, it's count your blessings that you came in, and then just play quietly for a little bit until you build a board and wait for Mochi to come to you.
Now he has to hit on the 3, I think.
Tough decision.
Yes, for sure.
Send the force checker back.
It is easier to decide when you are commentating than not when you are playing.
Oh my god, yeah. But even then, I'm having a hard time deciding what to do. This was a blunder he should have hit, I think.
$22.13 for sure. Michael has 2 blots in his inner board, so Mochi is evaluating a riskier move.
Yeah, Mochi is not afraid at all.
But I think he'll play 22-13 last.
Somehow on my heroes, I don't see Mochi's clock moving at all. Is it moving on yours?
Yes, yes.
But on mine, the clock seems frozen. Going to refresh my heroes feed.
Mochi decided for the double falcon. Maybe 16-13 and 15-9. Not easy.
Oh. Oh, I don't think I would do that. Would definitely make the 5 point, and I would play 11-5. There's Mochi is still coming towards Michael, so he will have other opportunities to hit him. But to leave 4 blots like that, even with the anchor, I wouldn't do it.
It is really very dangerous to it.
Yeah.
I think I would play this one, I think.
Yeah, I think it's better. So see, he still leaves a blot. Now which one? Yeah, he has to make the 1 point and now hope to hit. Oh my god, Mochi's PR is at 2. Okay. Who gives blood first? Now, does Mochi take a chance now and run? 15-7? Or does he play safe? I think he has to run.
I think I would play safe.
But he still will have to clear this 15 point later on.
Yes. Oh, this is horrible for Mochi. You'd have preferred to dance.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Michael has to think about doubling. Not sure it is a double, but he has to think.
Certainly.
The deuce is duplicated, but I think, yes, I think I would redouble.
Yeah, this is a tough Tough cube for Mochi. But he takes without hesitation.
Yes, the hesitation is if he has to lift the checker or play all in.
No, I meant Mochi took without hesitation.
Ah, okay.
Right away.
Yes.
Didn't even think about it. Yeah. It was the correct action, of course. Redouble take was correct.
I think he has to go out.
I would go out, yeah.
Four three is the perfect roll.
Mm-hmm.
No, I prefer this one. I don't think he can redouble.
Yeah, if he redoubles, Michael would have to obviously take. So do you run 2011?
I think so.
No, I think so. Now 6-4 is a dangerous number for Mochi.
Yes, but 5-2, 5-3 are not. No, 5-2, 6, 4-3 are not very good.
Austria, yes, also.
No, 4-3 leaves a shot.
Right.
And 4-2 is not. Every 4 is 4-1. Every 4 is terrible. I don't think it can double. I would never think about doubling. But if Mochi is thinking, probably I am wrong.
But maybe that's why he's trying to ensure. Michael got the 6-4. Okay, so he's ready now.
Now it is a bit different, but there is 6-3, 5-3. It was correct double, and it was a take because of the score, because the score...
Yeah, take and a recube.
Yes. No, not easy, but it is strange that Michael didn't think about calculating the exact winning chances.
Right, he went too fast somehow.
He has 13 minutes. I think I would have fought at least 3 or 4 minutes before dropping.
Yeah, and now the 6-5, he should have left on the 6-5.
6-4, I can make the deuce or make the... I think I would make the bar point.
Yeah.
No, I definitely prefer the prime. The prime, it needs just 1 point. Oh, double one is a smashing roll.
Yeah, I think he has to hit and hope to retain that checker.
Yes.
Hope that, yeah.
But the other chance was to make the 4 point, hoping to hit next roll.
Right.
It was difficult to decide which was the best opportunity.
There isn't much to say here.
There is what?
There isn't much
Ah, yes, I think that
you can say here.
Michael chances are very, very tiny.
Yeah. Okay, he's trying to
And
preserve his board, obviously, but
yes,
not easy.
no. Not 6-5.
It would make it interesting. Now he rolls 6-5. Okay.
On the 6.
Good rolling for Mochi.
Yes.
Well,
Now he has some backgammon chances, but not interested in it. Oh, Coupe Classique. But Michael's board is
yeah, it's hard to.
completely crunched, so
Well, they both played very well. Mochi outplayed Michael by 2 points.
yes.
His PR is 1.77 and Michael's 3.69. Well, it was a very interesting match to watch.
Yes, very interesting and very well played match. Big
Very
congrats to both.
difficult decisions.
Yes, some very, very interesting position and difficult choices. But the top players can be seen in this situation, not in a very easy one, and where everyone can play the right move.
Right. It's nice to watch and learn.
Yes. Yes. It's very nice.
In the previous matches that Michael and Mochi played, Mochi outplayed Michael by about 2 points. Michael played at 4.48 and Mochi played at 2.61, and he outplayed Michael by 4% per match in the match winning chances. But let's see what happens in Stockholm.
Yes, I think there are a lot of very strong teams. It will be a nice championship. I think that the Romanian team is the best one in his history, and very strong team.
Absolutely. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. Nice. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, thank to you. Very nice from you to help me in this commentary.
Yeah.
And thanks to you and thanks to all the viewers.
Yes. Come to Stockholm. Everybody come to Stockholm.
Yes, I think it will be a very nice show.
Yes.
So,
see you there.
See you. Thanks and bye.
Bye, everybody.